Well, for years I'd worked in business management and so on, and although it paid the bills, I knew it wasn't what I wanted. And my own children had suffered quite a lot, and I'd been attracted to homeopathy for my older daughter who had recurrent chest problems and infections. Went to see a homeopath and it cleared up wonderfully. So that led me to following a homeopathic first aid course and using homeopathy with the family and friends, and it kind of grew from there. And then there was a course that was running to become a professional homeopath, and I thought, oh, that would be good. Could I? Can I? And I decided to take the plunge. So it was a 5-year course, part-time while I was working and all the rest going on in busy lives as everybody has. So I completed that, and just at the end of that training, what had been a shop premises became available, and I thought, yes, that's the place that we need to set up. And so I got the lease on that, and I was working under supervision still then, not having quite qualified, but I knew I couldn't afford to miss that good location, and it has proved to be a very good location. And so I set up initially just as a homeopathy centre and working really in my part-time in evenings and weekends. And it was from that basis of homeopathy, seeing what benefit homeopathy could bring to people of all ages. I was aware of one or two things that took a long time to shift, like physical problems, musculoskeletal problems, and I started to look at something hands-on that would just bring some relief to people who were in pain, shorter term. And that's what led me to looking at the Bowen technique. And in fact, I had a trial here at the festival years ago, and I thought, yes, this is really good. And so I went off and trained in that. And so those are the two therapies that I use mainly together, and they complement each other very well.
Do you use other therapies as well?
I do, yes. I started to do some Reiki just as I was wanting to do a hands-on energetic healing. And again, that took me through to all levels. So I did some Reiki at the basic level, but now I'm a Reiki master teacher. So I do some attunements as well, and that again brings a real pleasure. Well, there are 6 of us, I think, who work there at the moment. And the therapies range. What do? We cover homeopathy and Bowen, obviously, and Reiki. Shiatsu, we have a man who's from Switzerland originally, a very good Shiatsu practitioner who works with us. I have another Bowen therapist, another homeopath, and a spiritual healer as well. And about to have a hypnotherapist and counsellor join us. So for a very small base geographically, we managed to cover quite a lot of ground in terms of the therapies that we can offer. So that I feel in that way, sometimes I'm treating whole families, which is great, the whole range of ages. And also outside of the practice, I work in a care home, a nursing home, where I'm able to do therapy work with residents. So it depends what, these are elderly and quite often quite poorly people, often with dementia. So I just have to judge what seems appropriate. It might be just some shoulder massage. Oh, I've done head massage and Indian head massage and shoulders, yeah. It might be just that with a little bit of Reiki. I can do some Bowen in a seated position. It just depends what they appreciate and what seems to benefit them. And sometimes when people are, even in the last few days of their lives, they've told me what comfort they get from the Reiki, and it gives me every confidence to be able to just go and spend a few minutes with them, bringing them some more Reiki. And I've trained one of the other staff there so that when I'm not there, they can also work with the residents. I do some Bowen as well there because obviously in that sort of a environment, the staff, although they've got all the lifting gear and so on, their bodies are under quite a lot of stress, lifting and moving people around. And so the manager, in fact the owner of the nursing home, has said how much their sick leave has reduced since the staff have been getting the Bowen. And they just come to me regularly now when I go in, which is just great. Oh, Jenny, my shoulder's just got that twinge back. Any chance of a few minutes? And more often, well, I can almost say that I every time manage to get them right. because having started with the homeopathy as the way in, I'm now looking at a lot of other things, and quite a lot of flower and vibrational essence work, which I just see as another side to the work that I'm doing. And I'm doing some particular work around this area, around the Howarth Valley and over Ilkley area as a whole, which I wish I could say everything about it, but I just can't, but I will in future. I'm developing some essences really that I think will bring a lot of benefit to people, and that really excites me. I was describing in the Bowen talk this morning how somebody had brought a tiny baby to me who was suffering with colic, and I treated the baby with homeopathy and said about Bowen, and I had this tiny baby just tummy down on my lap and just did the basic Bowen moves, and this baby, from being crying and really in pain, just visibly just relaxed. It was just beautiful. So that's at the very early age. And with homeopathy, we're treating people through the pregnancies and supporting them, giving them remedies that can help actually in the birth process, because that's recognised now by a lot of midwives. So right the way through children, right the way through to elderly, so all sorts of problems. I've had a lady who had suffered with rheumatoid arthritis for about 20 years or more. She's had one knee replacement and was lined up for a second knee replacement, but really didn't fancy the surgery, and she came to see me, and so I hoped I could do my best for her, and she's just great now with homeopathy and Bowen. She's walking around fine. She still has a stick, but sometimes she forgets it, which is great, isn't it? And she's got so much more energy. She's taken on new projects and things. When I first saw her, she was just struggling to get through the day. And she's well into her 70s. So I'm bringing the benefits, I feel, to a whole range of people.